Hi everyone, it's Don from Crux Terminatus with the Blood Angels Death Company Chaplain with a jump pack and how I painted them. Well, this model has been on my to-do list forever because I was quite intimidated by it. I looked at it, loved it, thought it was the bee's knees, and I decided that I would have a bash because with COVID and all the rest of it, I've been working through my stash of models. There was only a couple of things I needed to sort. One of the bad things, there was a problem with the panel lines on the jump pack, so I just had to basically carve them out myself. But once that was done and everything was sanded and all the mould lines removed, it was ready to go. And in case you haven't seen this model before, it is exquisite. The detail on this is bonkers, especially the fleshy tendon look on the right hand side of his armour as he wears it. So all I did was primed it black with the Vallejo black primer, and then the helmet I primed white. You'll see later on that I come back and I dull it down because it looks too white. So I put on a couple of custom mixes of red and black, highlighting the tips with the airbrush, but in the end I had to go in with Ferrari red and actually brush paint them on anyway. The airbrush was really good at giving me a base, but the real sort of magic happens with the Ferrari, which you can only really put on with a brush, or at least I found I could anyway. So really liking this gradual shadow out to the lighter reds, and I try and mix in some orange as well, but to be honest the orange kind of got lost and I just went back to highlighting again with more Ferrari red. So this is the orange, is it Wild Rider red, I believe it's called. I did have some of that edge highlight paint, the orange one. It wasn't great, so I just used the standard Wild Rider red, which is orange, go figure. And the sort of teardrop, or blood drops should I say, shapes at the end of the top three wings or feathers were pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie, it took me 3 or 4 attempts to get something I was even remotely happy with, but attention to detail is absolutely everything with the jump pack. One sort of dodgy highlight and you have to start again, so take your time, get it right, and more importantly than anything else, get a good brush but get the right consistency of paint. Onto his pauldron, great detail here. There's actually a little guy in a robe, a little skeleton guy in a robe holding a chalice with a blood drop. I painted the robes same colour as everything else, which was Ferrari red, but I had to highlight the creases in the robes, otherwise you didn't see the detail. So I got more of that sort of orangey creamy red, and I used that colour to highlight the robes. This part was interesting. I was trying to get the first of the edge highlights for the black, and I was like, right, okay, well, where do I start? There's a kind of curvy bendy bit here on the wings, so I start with that bit, and my mix for edge highlighting black, as you've seen from the other videos, is pretty much 50-50 of Thunderhawk blue and grey from Vallejo Model Air, and I just find that it seems to be, a decent colour to work with. So this is the first part. These are the lines I etched myself because the mould wasn't great itself, and just it's taken me a long time to make that look easy. It really isn't. Just practice. That's all it is. Practice. People used to tell me, and I was like, no, there must be another way, but there really wasn't. And obviously I want to give him a glow on his jump pack because he's kicking about in an engine or a rocket motor or something. So this is interesting. I do it this sort of squid pink colour, and then I highlight the middle of it with white, and then some ice blue, but actually it looks better just in pink. So after this bit was filmed, I ruin it with more colours, and I just go, nah, that's not good enough. So I went back, painted it black, and then painted it just a squid pink on its own, and I think it looks much better. It stands out. I would have done it blue. I would have done it like jetpack blue if I'd do it again, but I'd already started with the purple, and you can see the the spots on my hand where I've been testing my airbrush. Well, some great camera work there. I think it looks alright. If it was blue, it would really stick out against the red, but with the purple, it kind of fits in a little bit. This is me doing the robes I was talking about. Really intricate work, and that's a Windsor and Newton size 7, although a lot of the brushwork for the model was done with the $2.99 starter brush that you got in the first episode of Conquest. I use that brush for everything apart from edge highlights, and that's the only sort of Windsor and Newton one I have. Again, if anyone wants to buy me a new camera, you can. One that focuses would be nice. But this is I found this the hardest part. This was painting the sort of tendon parts. It's like the Dracula armour from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Really bonkers difficult to do, and it's just patience. It's not even anything to do with skill, it's about patience, because I was effectively dabbing the Ferrari red on again and again and again. And this bit is without doubt the hardest bit in the model for me. There are 3 rows of 3 tiny little tendons in his 6-pack or whatever. They were really difficult. I think what I might have done differently is I might have just painted it Ferrari red and then put a wash over it, a null oil wash. But you know me, I like to do it the hard way. So I painted them individually. Vallejo liquid gold, old gold. I used Retributor armour, but that trying to do bigger areas with that gets a bit. Well, I find it gets a bit clumpy. So I like the liquid gold range. Although again, running out of that, so I'll need to buy some more. And this was a first for me. I just tried to paint. I like watching people paint like power cables and stuff like that with the yellow and black, and I think, oh, I want to try that, and I usually suck at it, but this one was actually okay. I did alright. And this is just standard stuff that you've seen me do 100 times. So this is just parchment. I painted it bone white, and then Agrax Earthshade, and then I go over it with a 0.05mm pen, which is another thing that's run out. So yeah, I'm going to be spending some money in the next couple of weeks. And then we're just getting towards the end now. The helmet, you'll see it's still quite white there. Well, it's very white. So I actually go down and darken it down with some Agrax Earthshade, and then re-highlight the teeth and the sort of cheekbones and stuff, and paint the blood drop in his head. I think this is a great model. I think for once I've painted it quite well. I like the purple wax on the purity seals, and I like the green cord around his neck. The box art showed red purity seals and a red cord, and to be honest, I actually thought it was just drowning in red. So I changed it up a bit. Still kept the Melta pistol red, but everything else pretty much was what did I want to do. So I think it looks pretty sweet. As I say, I'm pretty happy with it. I'd love to hear your comments, good or bad. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you're thinking about buying this model, or you've found one or it's got it in your stash, bring it out and give it a bash, because it will make you a better painter for sure. Doing this model and doing it any kind of justice will make you better, and that's all we can hope for as painters. So thanks very much for sticking with me. If you'd like to comment and subscribe, that would be great. Cheers, bye bye.